Ufuk, how is it feeling ahead of another Sydney derby?
Yeah, excited. The derby always brings a great atmosphere. I think it's a great spectacle, and hopefully we perform well and pick up all 3 points.
And to be boasting, such a strong winning streak into a derby, what does that do for the group?
Yeah, the group's in a good place at the moment, mentally and physically. I think we've come off some really positive results leading into this game. Wanderers had a good result against Central Coast over the weekend. So, look, there's no easy game in the competition, but at the moment, I think where we're at and where the group is at, I think we're in a good place, and hopefully we can bring that on the weekend as well.
You talked about the Wanderers getting that result against the Mariners. What have you made of them so far this season?
Yeah, a little bit up and down in the results that they get. I think they've played well in some games. In the Adelaide game, I think when it was 0-0, they had good opportunities to go ahead, but didn't capitalise on those moments, and then ended up losing that game. But at home, look, they're always going to be a tough opponent to play against.
We're facing the prospect that if you do get the win this weekend, it'll be 5th on the trot. I think the first this side's seen that for 4 years.
Okay.
It must be a pretty good feeling in the group at the moment.
Yeah, look, we don't think too far ahead about this stuff. I know a lot of people enjoy the stats, and it's nice to look at those numbers. But for me, it's important. We're 5 games into the season. We want to continue to win games and also play dominant football. And an opportunity arises again against a good opposition in a derby.
Do you warn, your side of complacency heading into this derby, knowing that perhaps form isn't really an indication going into a really hostile and passionate game?
Yeah, look, the derby first 10-15 minutes is always a bit chaotic, but once the game settles down, it's very important for us that we play our game with and without the ball, and there's never been any complacency with the group. So, they know what the task is ahead against a good opposition. So, look, the derby is a derby, sometimes chaotic, but I think the team that doesn't play the occasion but sticks to the game plan will have the best opportunity.
How's Ben going, Sean?
Good. Good. He got some minutes on Friday last week with our NPL side. They played an in-house game, so he got 60 minutes there. I think it was very important for him to get game time, and because it's hard at this stage, we're in competition. We need to win games, and we need to try to give players minutes at the same time. But it was very important for him to get those minutes last week, and he's in a good place at the moment.
Is that something that we might see him, debut in a derby?
Yeah, look, it's hard to make those changes. The team is doing well. King is doing well in that position at the moment. When the team's doing well, you don't want to tinker too much with the starting team. But look, things change. We still have another session under our belt that we need to get through, and then we'll see what happens on Saturday.
The last week we spoke to you, there was a couple of boys coming back from overseas, and there was battling jet lag. They seem to pull up okay, but I guess how does that sort of next start of this week look for them, just knowing that
Yeah, those boys had extra recovery protocols that they went through at the start of the week. Al probably struggled the most out of all 3 of those players that returned from international duty, but we pushed him through 60 minutes in the game. But Piero was fine. Paulie got through the game as well. But no, the boys have recovered well and they're good to go.
How is Al, to suddenly reach the headlines and announce himself at a new club? How is he handling that?
Al?
Yes.
Yeah, Al's been great. I think, look, this is the nature of our game. One performance can put you in the spotlight, and it gave him that opportunity to go away with the Socceroos. Very proud of the boys with Paulie and Al to get their caps with the national team. So, football changes very rapidly, changes in 24 hours, and, the more they perform at club space, the opportunities that they may get with international football.
You were just speaking to Stadge earlier as well. There's a few new faces on both sides who haven't experienced a derby before, but for your boys that haven't, have you sort of had a chance to sort of talk to them about what the gravity of this rivalry really is?
Yeah, it's a hard one to explain. I think you got to experience it yourself. I think you got to be in the moment, and I think those boys will have a better understanding on game day.